Welcome to Sophie Daddy's channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most common, yet maybe one of the most misunderstood tools in the entire options market, the single-leg long call.
On the surface, it seems so simple, right? It's just a straightforward bullish bet. But when you look a little closer, you see this massive strategic divide. A long call is really an instrument of two masters, and it's used in completely different ways by two very, very different groups of traders.
And this divide has become so much more obvious in the post-2020 market. The whole landscape has changed. What we've seen is this huge split, a bifurcation of the market that's really driven by this new wave of retail traders who are frankly playing by a totally different set of rules.
And the data on this, it's pretty wild. A staggering 56% of all retail options volume is packed into contracts that have 5 days or less until they expire. Let's be clear, this isn't long-term investing. This is pure high-frequency speculation. It's a hunt for that instant gratification and maximum gamma.
So let's really dissect this first world, the world of the retail speculator. Their entire approach is defined by this quest for insane leverage for those lottery ticket-style payoffs.
And the profile is just so consistent, it's almost a blueprint. They love those short-dated 0 to 5 day options. They're buying up the cheap, out-of-the-money strikes, and their motivation is 100% directional speculation. What researchers call this is a behavioral bias known as sensation seeking. It's the thrill of the game itself.
And you can't deny the appeal, right? A tiny bet for a potentially massive payout. But here's the real question, the one that actually matters. Does this strategy work? Does it consistently generate alpha? Well, the academic research on this is extensive. And to be honest, it's pretty sobering.
And this number really says it all. When you look at empirical studies of real retail accounts, they show an average loss of 9%, and that's just the average. During those crazy periods of high implied volatility, when speculation is just off the charts, those losses can balloon to 14% or even more.
So why? Why the constant losses? Well, researchers have pretty much pinpointed 3 critical wealth-destroying mistakes. First, retail traders are always overpaying for volatility. They're buying calls when IV's already sky high, like right before an earnings announcement. Second, they get absolutely crushed by transaction costs. The average bid-ask spread on those weekly options they love is a massive 12.6%. And third, they're just too slow. They're jumping into trades after the institutional algos have already come in and scooped up all the easy profits.
Now this slide just lays it all out so perfectly. It shows you the two parallel universes side by side. On one side, you've got retail with their high leverage speculation using these ultra short, way out of the money calls. And on the other side, you have institutions. They're focused on hedging, on capital efficiency, and they're using long-term, deep in the money options. It's the exact same tool, but they are playing two completely different games.
So now let's cross that divide. Let's step into the second world, the institutional world. Over here, the long call isn't a gamble. It's a calculated chess move. It's a tool for really sophisticated risk and capital management. And the cornerstone of their whole approach is something called the stock replacement strategy. The goal is simple: get the exact same exposures owning 100 shares of a stock, but do it without tying up all that cash. It's all about capital efficiency.
The logic here is it's incredibly powerful. Okay, so instead of spending, say, $10,000 on 100 shares of stock, an institution might buy a single, long-dated, deep-in-the-money call, a LEAP, for maybe $2,200. They're specifically looking for a delta around 0.80, so the option moves almost dollar for dollar with the stock, and boom, they get the same exposure, but they've just freed up $7,800 that they can now put to work somewhere else.
You see, this isn't about leverage in the way retail thinks about it, trying to hit a home run. This is about maintaining control over an asset's price movement while putting as little capital at risk as possible and maximizing what you can do with the rest of your money. And this strategic thinking goes even deeper to how institutions actually read the market structure, like the volatility skew. Normally, puts are more expensive than calls because of what we call crashophobia. The market is always worried about a big drop. But during these speculative frenzies, we see a reverse skew. The demand for those out-of-the-money call options, those retail lottery tickets, gets so intense that they actually become more expensive than the puts. For an institution, that's a giant red flag that things are getting irrational.
So, okay, we have these two extremes, right? The retail gamble and the institutional hedge. But what if there's a third way? A path to use long calls for speculation, but to do it in a disciplined, evidence-based way that can actually generate alpha.
Well, there is. While that broad, shoot-from-the-hip approach of the average retail trader doesn't work, academic research has actually pinpointed some very specific, systematic strategies where long calls can be incredibly powerful.
Two of these strategies really stand out. The first one is a classic momentum strategy. You're systematically buying calls on stocks that are already crushing the market. And the second, which is maybe even more interesting, is targeting what's known as the post-earnings announcement drift, or PAD. This strategy is all about exploiting the market's tendency to be slow to react to big earnings news.
And the potential here is really significant. Research shows that a strategy of buying calls on companies after a big positive earnings surprise can generate abnormal annual returns of up to 20%. You're basically catching that slow, grinding move higher as the rest of the market finally catches on to the good news.
Now here is the really clever part. The PAD strategy has you wait until after the earnings are already out. Why? To avoid the single biggest killer of speculative call buys, IV crush. By waiting for the event to pass, you completely sidestep that massive collapse in implied volatility that just destroys so many earnings trades, even if the person got the direction.
And this really gets to the heart of the challenge, right? A call option is a decaying asset. It's a melting ice cube. Every single day, theta is eating away at its value. So the only way you can beat that decay is to pair your option with a stock that has velocity, a real, confirmed reason to be moving and moving now. And that's exactly what both the momentum and PED strategies are designed to do.
So ultimately, the long call is kind of like a mirror. It just reflects the strategy and the discipline of the person using it. It can be a tool for precise, capital-efficient moves, or it can be a total wealth-destroying gamble. So as you're setting up your next trade, you really have to ask yourself, are you playing chess, or are you just buying a lottery ticket?